Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I'd like to talk to you today about the law of vibration and attraction. When you think about the universe, do you think about what you really think about becomes your reality? That you attract what you're in harmony with? That like energy attracts like energy? I don't think we give that much thought. But everything in the universe vibrates. Nothing rests. We really do live in an ocean of motion. This truly contains the great secret of life. You are always moving towards something, and it is always moving toward you. It's action and attraction. This is where you could be using your intuitive factor. You can use your intuition to pick up on other people's vibrations. When you think about another person, they might end up phoning you or sending you a text message. Maybe they're thinking about you. Did you cause them to think about you, or were they thinking about you and you picked up their energy? When you consciously become aware of vibrations, we call them feelings. When you feel bad, you can change your feelings by switching it, by thinking good thoughts. When you pick up a bad feeling from another person, you feel that energy. You know they must be thinking maybe disturbing thoughts. You can tell, you can feel anger, worry, depression. You can feel that energy emanating from another person. And that means no matter how much you smile, if you're not feeling good, other people can pick up that energy. You must not let negative vibrations of other people affect your way of thinking. Your thoughts are powerful vibrational energy when you send them out into the universe. When you concentrate, the vibrations are stronger. Your thoughts are cosmic waves of energy that penetrate all time and space. They're vibrational. Thought is the most potent vibration, and remember that you can think. That makes you a very special creation. God's greatest masterpiece, God's highest form of creation. Since all creation begins with your thinking, you're co-creating your life with infinite intelligence. You should always be delighted with yourself and your creations. Your thought controls the vibration in your physical body. Did you realize that health is a body at ease and disease is a body that is not at ease? Dis-ease. So we don't want to focus on feeling bad. We don't want to focus on illness. We want to focus on what does good health feel like? How do we keep our body, our mind, our soul, our energy healthy? Your conscious awareness of vibration is referred to as feeling. Therefore, when you say, I feel bad or I feel great, you are declaring that you are in either a negative or a positive vibration. You have the power to control that, to change that. Now, maybe it doesn't happen as fast as you want it to, but when we focus on, I feel bad, that certainly extends a period of time of feeling bad. Your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between what is current, what is reality, and what is thinking, what's imagination. So you can think thoughts of well-being, and then you start to express that, and then that starts to accelerate. You can become more at ease, healthier, happier. You can create a state of well-being. You can create a state of energy that you really prefer, something that you desire. Mind is movement. The law of vibration decrees that everything moves, nothing rests. Your brain is the instrument you use to move your entire being into a different vibration. Your brain is not your mind, but maybe you could think of your brain as your vibratory switching station. If you're thinking thoughts that are putting you in a bad mood, a challenging energetic vibration, you can switch it. Your brain will not think, but you think with your brain. Your brain is something that you have to use to improve your life. When you say that you think or say you are thinking something, what you're really doing is choosing to activate certain brain cells. And those brain cells affect your central nervous system. And you move into whatever vibration those particular cells govern. The law of attraction immediately goes to work delivering whatever you are thinking about. Brain cells are where you store mental pictures or images. If the cells that you activate have sad or negative images, you will move into a negative vibration and feel bad. If you bring in pictures of what you really want, happy, healthy, wealthy, loving, loved, respected, prosperous, successful. Even using high vibrational words can put you into a higher state of being, a better state, a happier mood. If you think happy thoughts, if you keep happy, beautiful pictures in mind, that will move you into a positive vibration and feel good. When you choose happy pictures, you must feel good. Vibration is everything. So get a picture of what you really want. If you have a really vivid imagination, you might be able to form a picture and you might see it in color. You might see it so vividly that when you focus on it, it becomes more real than your outside reality. Maybe you're a person who's been saying, I can't imagine. Maybe it's been programmed out of you since you were a little kid and told to stop fantasizing and focus on what's already created, what's already real. Think about everything that's created around you started in someone's imagination. The house, the home, the apartment, wherever you live, someone had that idea and it was built. And now you're enjoying the structure that you reside in. the vehicle that you drive around in or the mode of transportation that you take, cars, trains, boats, planes, they didn't magically appear. Someone had the idea, how can we move faster, get from one place to another more quickly and with less effort than walking or riding a horse or taking a horse and buggy? Our great-great-grandparents had a pretty hard life compared to the conveniences that we have. And that's because someone decided there's got to be an easier way to plow the fields than using an ox and a cart, a shovel. What if we designed a machine that could do that? And now you see these gigantic machines out in the fields that are bigger than some people's houses. And the person driving it, they press a button, they can watch TV, it's air conditioned, it's programmed. It'll go up and down the fields making perfectly straight rows. Imagine telling our forefathers who worked so hard to break the land that in a couple of generations, we're going to be pressing a button and have machines do it. Everything starts in your mind. Everything starts as a fantasy. What do you really want? Do you have it written down? Do you believe that it's going to happen? Do you believe that it's possible? If you believe that it's possible, no matter how big the fantasy is, I remember seeing crank phones on the wall, and then they were developed into rotary dial phones, and everyone had their own phone in their home rather than sharing a phone with the neighbors. Now everyone and their children have little tiny cell phones. You can carry it around in your hand, in your purse, in your pocket. And not only can you make phone calls, you can take and send pictures. You can ask a question and have the answer in milliseconds. I grew up having to go to the library and look up information in encyclopedias and dictionaries. Brain cells are where you store mental images or pictures, and you can activate those cells and you can think about what it would be like if something in your life were better, were easier, was faster, or maybe slower. Notice how the energy of the world seems to be going faster and faster and faster. More people are thinking of things that they want. More people are thinking of ways to do things faster and easier, more conveniently with machines instead of hard labor. The world we live in today is totally different than our parents' and grandparents' day. What you think, you become. You can think about ways of doing things differently, easier. You can think, and what you think becomes reality. There's an intelligent substance which is everything and lives in everything. And whether you say it's God or spirit or a higher version, infinite intelligence, that lives in you. It is a consciously living substance. Wallace Wattles, in his book, The Science of Getting Rich, talks about increasing life. Being a consciously living substance, it must have the natural and inherent desire of every living intelligence for the increase of life. Every living thing must continually seek for enlargement of its life, because life, in the mere act of living, must increase itself. Look around you at nature. A seed dropped into the ground springs into activity, and in the act of living produces 100 more seeds. One single apple seed will produce a tree that will produce unlimited quantities of apples. Life, by living, multiplies itself. It is forever becoming more. It must do so to continue to exist. Intelligence is under this same necessity for continuous increase. Every thought we think makes it necessary for us to think another thought. Consciousness is continually expanding. Every fact we learn leads us to the learning of another fact. Knowledge is continuously increasing. Every talent we cultivate brings to mind the desire to cultivate another talent. We are subject to the urge of life. In seeking expression for this urge, we are impelled to know more, to do more, and to be more. In order to know more, to do more, and to be more, we must have more. We must have things to use, because we learn and do and become only through the use of things. Wallace Wattles says we must get rich so that we can live more. The desire for riches is simply the capacity for larger life seeking fulfillment. Every desire is the effort of an unexpressed possibility to come into action. It is power seeking to manifest that which causes desire. That which makes you want more money is the same as that which makes the plant grow. It is life seeking fuller expression. The one living substance must be subject to this law for all of life. It is permeated with the desire to live more. That is why it is under the necessity for creating things. Because this substance desires to live more in you, it wants you to have all the things you can use. It is the desire of God that you should get rich. He wants you to get rich because he can express himself better through you. If you have plenty of things to use in giving him expression, he can live more in you if you have unlimited command of the means of life. The universe desires you to have everything you want to have. Nature is friendly to your plans. Everything is naturally for you. Make up your mind that this is true. It is essential, however, that your purpose should harmonize with the purpose that is in everything. You must want real life, not simply pleasure or sensual gratification. Life is the performance of function, and the individual really lives only when he performs without excess of every function, physical, mental, and spiritual, every function of which he is capable. In Wallace Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich, the chapter called Increasing Life, he says, you don't want to get rich in order to live swinishly for the gratification of animal desires. That's not life. But the performance of every physical function is a part of life. And no one lives completely who denies the impulses of the body a normal and healthful expression. He says you don't want to get rich solely to enjoy mental pleasures, to get knowledge, to gratify ambition, to outshine others, or to be famous. All these are a legitimate part of life. However, the person who lives only for the pleasures of the intellect will only have a partial life. He will never be satisfied with his lot. You do not want to get rich solely for the good of others, nor do you wish to lose yourself for the salvation of humanity, or only to experience the joys of philanthropy and sacrifice. The joys of the soul are only a part of life. They are no better or nobler than any other part. You want to get rich so you can eat, drink, and be merry when it is time to do these things. You want to be rich so that you may surround yourself with beautiful things, see distant lands, feed your mind, and develop your intellect. You want to be rich so that you may love people, do kind things, and be able to play a good part in helping the world to find truth. But remember that extreme altruism is no better and no nobler than extreme selfishness. Both are mistakes. Get rid of the idea that God wants you to sacrifice yourself for others, that you can secure His favor by doing so. God requires nothing of the kind. Wallace Wattles says, what God wants is that you should make the most of yourself, for yourself and for others. And you can help others more by making the most of yourself than in any other way. He says you can make the most of yourself only by getting rich. Thus it is right and praiseworthy that you should give your first and best thought to the work of acquiring wealth. However, remember that the desire of substance for God, the desire of substance is for all. Its movements must be for more life for all. It cannot be made to work for less life to any because it is seeking riches in life, in everyone and everything. The intelligent substance will make things for you, but it will not take things away from someone else and give them to you. You must get rid of the thought of competition. You are here to create, not to compete for what is already created. You do not have to take anything away from anyone. You do not have to drive hard bargains. You do not have to cheat or take advantage. You do not need to let any person work for you for less than he earns. You do not have to covet the property of others or look at it with wishful eyes. No one has anything of which you cannot have the same. You are to become a creator. not a competitor. You will become a creator by employing the higher faculties which you have been endowed with. You have been endowed, gifted with perception, reason, will, memory, imagination, and intuition. No other form of life was given these creative faculties. Your animals have 5 senses, but they don't have the 6 higher faculties of intuition, imagination, memory, will, reason, and perception. You are going to get what you want, but in such a way that when you get it, every other person will have more than he has now. What do you really want? Write it down as if it's here now. Get into that state of being grateful for everything that you want being yours. Through the universal energy, everything in the universe vibrates, nothing rests. We live in an ocean of motion. You are moving toward what you want, and what you want is always moving toward you. Write it down. What is it that you truly desire to have experience in your life? Experience that in every cell of your being. See it in your mind. Write it down. Get into that state of already having it. Feel it. And then it will show up in your physical reality. You are a spiritual being gifted with an intellect, living in a physical body. And through your intellect and physical body, you bring into reality whatever you think about. Think about how beautiful life is, how wondrous your goal is. The life that you want to be living, live it, believe it, have faith. Get into that state of being, feel it, and you will create it in your life. It takes thinking about it as if it's already here now. It's yours. Enjoy it. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Think, feel, and act as if what you want is already yours. And I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.